Okay, guys, so sorry about this. This is probably going to be one of the shorter, like, daily vlogs. I got out of work late because I just had a ton of, I can't say a ton, but had a lot of patients come in at the last minute to get their blood pressure checked, and then we had to contact the doctor and everything to try to resolve all this. So it took some time and then documenting, so I didn't get out of work till almost like 7 o'clock. So that kind of cuts into my time, and then also I have to go pick up dog food for my dogs. I mean, they'll have food for tonight, but they won't have food for the morning, and I don't feel like getting up super early and make them breakfast. So, eggs, bacon, and, biscuits and gravy. That's like their favorite. No, I'm just kidding. I don't feed them that. I feed them egg and cheese, when I make a cheesy egg. But I try not to give them like too much of the bacon. I'll probably give them like a little bit, but not too much. But no, I got to get dog food, and by the time I get into my area, it's going to be close to 8 o'clock, and then they close at 9, so I don't want to spend a lot of time. I did have a real interesting story to tell you guys for this episode, and it just pertains with equipment, and what would you do if your equipment got stolen? Would you replace everything, or would you just start over knowing what you know about the equipment? So I kind of wanted to touch bases on that, and hopefully I don't forget about it for tomorrow's vlog, but I did write it down, and so I kind of halfway know what I want to talk about. But I guess a quick subject would be, do you guys own dogs, and how many, and what type of dogs do you have, and then what do you feed your dogs? I get the Purina One. I get them they love turkey. It's the turkey and venison one, and I get it in a 15-pound bag, and then the next size up is like a 36-pound bag, and I'm like, that's a lot of food. But it almost seems like when I get the bigger bags, when I get down to the end, the dogs don't want to eat the food. So I think my dogs are just so dang picky that, they know like what stale food is. God, these dogs are picky. I swear, they drive me crazy. They're like humans. They drive me crazy sometimes. Anyway, no, and then I give them a Milk-Bone biscuit, and then I used to give them like this chicken jerky, but I think one of my dogs is allergic to whatever ingredient. Not hard to track down. There's only 2 ingredients: chicken and glycerin. So I think she might be allergic to the glycerin because I've given her chicken before and she doesn't like itch and scratch. So I'm having to go away from that and try other things that doesn't really have the glycerin, and she seems to be doing a little bit better. It's a little bit slow. She used to have like the goopy eyes, and it's like turning all green and stuff like that. So her eyes were getting infected, and so once I stopped giving her that the chicken jerky, then slowly she doesn't itch as much, and then her eyes are getting a lot better. So something in that. Plus it could be my yard too. I think my yard has yeast in it, because they get yeast infections all the time, their skin and stuff like that. So we try to bathe them as much as possible that their skin can tolerate. But I gotta go get dog food today, and make sure my dogs are well fed, and they're happy and stuff like that, and they make me happy by protecting my house from intruders and stuff like that, because we've just been hearing about break-ins and stuff around our neighborhood and all that, and I just don't know what I would do without the dogs, even though they drive me crazy every time I come home, jumping all over me when I just want to relax. Like, hey, get off me. But they're dogs. They love you, and they forgive you if you like yell at them and stuff like that because you're not in the mood. But I really, really try not to do that to my dogs, because I want them to feel like they're loved and they have a good home and stuff like that. But every once in a while they press the right buttons and I go off on them and I cuss at them and stuff like that. But what good loving parent doesn't do that to their child? I mean their dog. But no, they're good dogs. They really are, and I love them for it. And But anyway, guys, I gotta go run and get my dogs their food, so they have something to eat, because I'm, me with food reviews and stuff like that. That would be something. I wish my dogs can like review the dog food that they eat, but the only thing I can do is show that the longer they keep their nose in the dish, the more I think, they get like more cues. So if they keep their head in the dish, don't swap dishes, and they stay and eat all their food, that means it's a 5 cues out of 5 for that dog food. So then I'll try to get that dog food again, and guess what? They turn their nose to it. I'm like, you loved it the last time. What's different? They drive me crazy. So I just limit what they get and stuff like that. But anyway, gotta go run and get my dog's food. So thank you guys. I hope you accept my apology that this one's a short one. I'm pretty sure you guys agree that you probably are getting tired of me having these long by myself talks and telling stories and stuff like that. I know you guys hate it. I know you guys have been telling me you really like the stories on some of the things. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you all. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. Until the next time I make another vlog, it'll be tomorrow. That's the hint. You guys have a good night.